All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's a bit of a tricky subject for any of us who are small group leaders. We're going to tackle that sensitive challenge: how do you pour your absolute heart into your group without accidentally building a wall around it?
Okay, let's just jump right into this because this question, it's a real one. It is so common. I mean, think about it. As a leader, you're the one visiting, you're counseling, you're praying with your group, you're forming these incredibly deep bonds. But that very closeness can create a really tricky dynamic. So let's break down how to navigate this whole thing with wisdom and with integrity.
So, first things first, what are we even talking about here? What is this mini-church danger? It's this subtle threat that, and this is the ironic part, it often grows from the very best intentions, from genuine care and a real desire to serve people well. So here's what that actually looks like. It's when your group starts to feel more like your people, and less like a vital, connected part of the larger church body. What happens is loyalty subtly shifts away from the overall vision of the church and onto the small group leader. And here's the kicker. This whole thing, it doesn't start with some big dramatic event. It's an internal shift. It begins silently, not with an action, but with a change in your own heart and even your language. The moment you start thinking, my members, well, you're on a pretty slippery slope.
This isn't a new problem. Not at all. Scripture actually gives us a couple of really powerful models of leadership that hit this right on the head. One to avoid and one we really want to imitate.
First up, we've got the cautionary tale, right? And that's a guy named Absalom. He was charismatic, he seemed to care so deeply, but his ambition created a dangerous and, in the end, a destructive faction.
Now, this is what's so sneaky about it. If you look at what Absalom did, just on the surface, he looked like a great leader, didn't he? He was present, he listened, he showed empathy. The problem wasn't the actions themselves, it was the motive behind them. It was all designed to draw people to himself, not to the established leadership.
And right there, that's the whole ballgame. You've got two models side by side. One leader, Absalom, builds his own platform. The other, Timothy, he uses his influence to reinforce the main structure. Timothy's care was absolutely genuine, but it always pointed people back to the bigger picture.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you make sure you're a Timothy, not an Absalom? Because let me tell you, it does not just happen by accident. You have to be intentional. So here's a practical 5-step guide to keep your leadership healthy and perfectly aligned.
We're going to walk through each of these 5 crucial actions. I want you to think of them as guardrails, okay? They're here to protect both you and your group from slowly drifting away from the main body.
All right, step 1, and honestly, this is everything. It all starts right here. You have to fix your inner identity. Settle this in your heart once and for all. You are a steward, entrusted to care for people who ultimately belong to Christ and the wider church body. You're a manager, not the owner. I'm telling you, that single shift in identity changes everything.
So, how does that play out in real life? Well, it's about constantly, intentionally pointing people back up to the main vision. When someone praises you for a great insight, a great response is something like, "Thank God, I'm just passing on what I've been learning in this house." See, it keeps the focus exactly where it belongs.
Step 3 is a big one. Watch your language. Seriously, your words are like a compass. They show where your heart is pointing. Are you speaking like a connected branch drawing life from the main vine? Or do you sound more like a separate tree trying to grow its own roots?
Now, number 4. This one is for you. This is about protecting your own heart as a leader. It is absolutely crucial for your own health. If your only deep connections are with people looking up to you, you can become emotionally isolated and just drift. You have to actively pursue your relationship with your own pastor or leader. Ask for guidance, share what's happening, stay aligned.
And number 5, this is a tough one, but it is so important. You have to refuse to let your group become a safe opposition zone where negativity just festers. You're not there to absorb complaints. You're there to help build solutions, generally redirecting people toward a constructive conversation that protects everyone.
So when you pull it all together, all 5 of these steps, what they're really doing is helping you write a new internal script for how you lead. It's all about a fundamental shift in the posture of your heart. So the first line in that new script is this commitment you make to yourself. It draws a crystal clear line between healthy, Christ-like care and unhealthy, possessive ownership. You love them, you serve them, but they are not yours. And that leads right into the second line. This becomes your gut check. It's the new filter for your decisions. Before you launch an initiative or start a conversation, you ask yourself, does this build up the whole house, or is it just building up my little corner of it?
And finally, this is really the goal, isn't it? It's the whole point of having a steward's heart. The trust and the influence you build, that's a precious resource. And you intentionally choose to invest that influence by pointing people up and out, towards Christ and towards the entire community.
So, that leaves us with one last question to chew on. And it's for anyone in leadership, really. Are we contributing to the construction of the whole house, making it stronger and more unified? Or are we just decorating our own room, disconnected from the larger project? That's a question worth asking.